The third reason why it's important for us to master the book of Revelation is it is especially commended to our study. In this respect, Revelation is unique, for no other book of the sacred canon contains such a promise of special blessing upon its readers. In the beginning of the book, it opens with the words in chapter 1, verse 3, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein." And at the end of the book, it closes in chapter 22, verse 7, with the promise, "Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of this prophecy of this book." So it readeth and keepeth. And then it adds the warning against corrupting it, by either taking away from it or by adding to it. Chapter 22, verses 18 and 19. So friend, these words imply that the book is to be understood. John designated the message by the word apocalypse, which means a revelation, an unveiling or uncovering, a title which in itself suggests clarity. The book is a revelation from Jesus, about himself, about Jesus, and Jesus is not the author of confusion. So friends, the reason why it's important for us to understand the book of Revelation is this revelation is from Jesus Christ direct. Secondly, this is the revelation of Jesus. And thirdly, it is especially commended to our study. And the fourth reason, it is the capstone of divine revelation. Revelation completes and it crowns the sacred canon. In it, strands from all the books of the Bible come together in one triumphant finale. Few recognize how thoroughly Revelation is permeated with the Old Testament. Westcott and Hort list more than 400 quotations from the Old Testament. Adding the allusions to the Old Testament that Revelation contains brings the number to more than 500. The vast majority are from 7 books: Exodus, Psalms, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, and Zechariah. The rich imagery of Revelation is drawn from the Old Testament. There are place names such as Jerusalem, Babylon, the Euphrates, also objects such as the temple and its furniture, as well as characters such as Balaam and Jezebel. Their meaning in the Old Testament is a key to their meaning in Revelation. Now, drawing from the Old Testament, the book of Revelation becomes an extension and fulfillment of it. Without the book of Revelation, the Bible would be incomplete. So friends, to recap, this revelation is from Jesus Christ. It is the revelation of Jesus. It is especially commended to our study. It is the capstone of divine revelation. And then the fifth reason, it provides warnings and promises to the church through ages of conflict to the final victory. Revelation is the only book of the whole of the New Testament that is entirely prophetic. The message identifies itself as prophecy. Let's look at chapter 1, verse 3. "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy." And then again, chapter 22, verse 18, "For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book." So John clearly intended it as a prophetic message to be given to the churches. Now, the historicist interpretation of the book sees its scenes taking place, for the most part, within the period from John to the eschatological climax, in other words, the end of the world period. Some within the historicist school see the successive visions as a continuous line of events reaching to the end time, while others see the various series of messages, the 7 churches, the 7 seals, the 7 trumpets, as parallel treatment of the same periods. Kenneth A. Strand, who has given special study to the literary analysis of Revelation, calls this latter view the recapitulationist interpretation. And I'm quoting from his book, Interpreting the Book of Revelation, page 49. "The same historical ground is traversed several times, as it were from different perspectives, with each sequence culminating in an eschatological climax. And he concludes that the literary structure of the book mandates recapitulation as opposed to the straight line method. So friends, firstly, this revelation is from Jesus Christ. Secondly, it is a revelation of Jesus. Thirdly, it is especially commended to our study. It is the capstone of divine revelation, and it provides warnings and promises to the church through the ages of conflict to the final victory.